How England's stars might pass the long hours in their World Cup camp in Repino. For England, it's been a World Cup conundrum every bit as vexing as tactics and team selection. How best to while away the long hours struck in the team hotel in between their matches. Think about it, on non-match days, Gareth Southgate's squad will spend maybe 2 hours training and perhaps another hour performing media duties or attending some other pre-arranged event. That leaves an awful lot of time spent cooped up inside the camp, many hours spent in each other's pockets and plenty of hours simply spent alone with your thoughts. Playing at a World Cup may well represent the pinnacle of a player's career, but life on the road can all too often be mind-numbing. And England never seemed to get it right. Take Fabio Capello's insistence that England were based in the middle of nowhere during the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, cutting off all access to the outside world in an effort to maintain focus. Jermaine Defoe admitted things became so tedious in Rustenburg that one night he sat down and watched Wayne Rooney's entire wedding video with his fellow striker. On the face of it, England won't have much more freedom this time around in Repino, their leafy, seaside base located on the Gulf of Finland, some 20 miles from St. Petersburg. Security around their hotel at the Forest Mix Resort has been tight ahead of the squad's arrival on Tuesday evening, with armed police and security guards patrolling the perimeter. Opportunities for the players to stroll around the town, or along the pleasant beaches, during their stay will likely be restricted on security grounds. The Forest Mix Resort itself is a little more rustic than many of these young multimillionaires will be accustomed to, certainly for those who experienced the luxury surroundings of Chantilly during Euro 2016. So how to pass the time? When asked this ahead of the tournament, the one word that kept coming up time after time was fortnight. Tottenham duo Dele Alli and Harry Kane will be the leaders of what is likely to be a sizable group of England players battling it out on the wildly popular online video game. To the uninitiated, Fortnite is basically a massive online brawl where up to 100 players leap out of a plane onto a small island and fight each other until only one remains. Hidden on the island are a multitude of weapons including rifles, grenade launchers and crossbows with which to take out your opponents. As time passes, the playable map gets smaller and smaller, forcing the competitors closer and closer together. The game isn't ultra-violent, but it is certainly addictive, and plenty of parents are worried about the effects of playing too much of it. Not that the footballers seem to mind, with Ali live-streaming his battles and even mimicking some of the in-game celebrations on the pitch in the Premier League. And, yes, we will see them at the World Cup. There are quite a few lads that love to play it, Kane told BBC Radio 5 Live. I'm sure when we have our free time that will be the game. Ali added, I'll definitely be taking Fortnite, that's for sure. Jesse Lingard said Fortnite was too hard but said he'd be passing the time on PlayStation game Call of Duty. Eric Dier is also a fan of the war simulation, and it seems inevitable that the PlayStation and Xbox consoles the squad take with them to Russia will be getting plenty of hammer. You're there for a long time, we all like playing PlayStation and it's a good way to play together, added Ali. I'm going away with 23 of my brothers, I'm sure we'll have a good time. Other players spoke of watching Netflix and box sets to pass the time. Kane ranks Dexter and Prison Break among his favorites. Another conversation starter among the players will be ITV program Love Island. A new series has just started and Danny Rose and Fabian Delph are among those who have been chatting about it. Anyone who can download the latest episodes on demand during their time in Repino will certainly be popular in the camp. There will clearly be plenty of screen time, but other activities will be available for the England players. A games room at the hotel will offer such entertainment as a pool table and darts board, while Ruben Loftus-Cheek is known to enjoy a game of tennis. Tottenham players Ali and Dier have been known to play the card game Uno in the dressing room, with press-ups as punishment for those who lose. Time was every England player at a tournament would pack their suitcase full of books in order to expand their minds while passing the time. Striker Danny Welbeck became a born-again bookworm during his recent injury layoffs. I read more books than when I was in school, said the Arsenal man, adding his favorite genres were sports mentality books and autobiographies. And even though their freedom may be limited during the tournament, Dier said he wanted to see something of the host nation. "I've never been to Russia before, so I'm very excited to see the country itself," said the midfielder. "I really appreciate going to new countries and learning about new cultures. It'll be enjoyable to go to Russia and see that." Let's hope the Spurs man gets a few hours to explore the fine city of St. Petersburg, which lists the Hermitage Museum, the Winter Palace, where the Bolshevik Revolution took fire, the Dostoevsky and the Fabergé museums are among the many attractions. And if they're really feeling intellectual, perhaps some of the England stars will try and crack the code of the Russian alphabet and learn some of the language. Well, maybe.